Hello there. Welcome to another talk, another meditation. This is part 2 of my kundalini / spiritual awakening. And the reason I thought of this idea, the kundalini / spiritual awakening, is because it's still something I'm going through, but I've been through this process, this whole thing for nearly 11 years. And, it's not a situation where I went to some healer or I knew anything about this kind of thing. I've said this before, I was 24 and I sat down and had enough of everything. And the power of me having enough was so strong, the willpower, that I knew at that moment everything was going to change. I knew that I awakened or did something. I was so passionate in that moment. It was like I decided to change or awaken or something. And then that triggered off the awakening. And I've said this before, a lot of people mention rebirth, but I was rebirthed. I was taken back to the womb. I was getting downloads all of a sudden, spiritual download, which is, information going into you, being downloaded into you, into your mind, about what was going on. And this lasted for around 2 weeks, the rebirth I'm talking about. And so it was like it was literally being reborn. And in this experience, I took drugs when I was younger, but this was like drugs, but very much stronger. And basically, that experience, the 2 week one, the rebirth I'm talking about, the kundalini thing that was going on, because it was ecstasy, but it was stronger than the drug ecstasy. It was like that, but stronger, far more potent. And I realised from this that is the core essence of who we are. Because before a baby is born, they are that state of consciousness. They are because the drug ecstasy, or that euphoric ecstasy feeling, is the core essence of who we are. But a baby gets programmed by the world and everything, and then it becomes not that. I've got to watch what I say in here, because I can't go political. I'm not political anyway. But But yeah, that was an intense thing. But then what happened is I went on a journey, an inner healing path, on this awakening path, this inner healing, and basically that ecstasy that I just mentioned, that ecstasy is the core essence of who we are, as I've said. But the pathway to it, I've been shown on this spiritual awakening process path, is basically inner healing work. And when you because we've got all sorts of traumas from past lives and stuff, and it runs through our veins, and that's what causes illness. That's what's happening, and it manifests itself in a bag. We call that cancer. The body's clever. It makes a bag up, and then they mess around with it, and then it spreads. So, but, all this, if you're if you like someone from your past in a romantic way, you need to let that person go, because that can manifest itself as an illness. So I just wanted to put that in there. But back to the talk in hand. This thing was incredible. Basically, it was showing me what I could end up having again. And as I've prolonged with this inner healing path, that energies have come back. But it's like a force is guiding me, and it's doing it. It's like it's baby steps, and it's taking me there gently. And yeah, on this path, on this the process, the healing pathway. You've got to face yourself. You've got to face your emotions. I've been single since I was 26, and I'm 35 on 22nd of October. So it was like, and I feel very separated. I am separated. I am my mum's registered carer. So, I've got to do all the things she can't do. So it's not just doing this stuff here. But I balance things, because I'm a Libra, balancing. And I balance everything so I can do them both. And I can do them very balanced, in a balanced way. Because we're here to serve. And this kundalini spiritual awakening, and what kundalini is an awakening, but then you go on an inner journey, and then you get to tantric awareness. And what's happening is you've got an energy self that is orgasmic. That's what source is. Source is this feeling of orgasmicness. Imagine orgasmicness and peace, euphoria, aliveness, but tranquility also in there. It's like peace, all the elements of love you can think of. And mediums, psychic mediums, they say that's where loved ones go. That's, people think of as heaven. But that heaven, because you connect with loved ones, if you're heart-based and you tap into that energy via the heart, that's the quickest way. You can connect with loved ones on the other side, or who are there. So, as I'm talking, I get like these little, ideas to throw things in there. It's probably spirit that does it. Because I'm just trying to talk about a subject, and then all of a sudden I'm like going off, what's happening here? I can't see spirit. Sometimes a thought will come into my mind. I think that, when that happens, or if there's a spirit around, I'll start getting certain images in my mind of a certain person. But back to the topic in hand, yeah. So, yeah, as I was saying about kundalini, the kundalini is an awakening, and it's basically that experience is to just show you who you truly are. This is why, and people relate kundalini to sexual energy, and that's why sex in general is seen in a bad light. They do this on purpose, because so they make people feel shamed, and that's by design, because they don't want you to get anywhere near your core essence. Because if you're anywhere near your core essence, you'll return to who you truly are. You see? And I can't go too far, because, got my hands up. YouTuber's got me against the wall, both hands are up. So I can't go too far. But all I will say is they don't want you to be in your core essence, because that's too powerful. That's why I've said before that the twin flame thing is probably the most dangerous thing to the system. Because you can't control a bunch of people that are like in love and happy. You see? But back to the talking hand. So yeah, so as I've been saying about kundalini, it's an awakening, and then you go. This is just my own experience, and the rebirth, obviously, as I've mentioned. But that's mentioned a lot by people, but they don't mean literally. I mean literally rebirth. And then the healing path, and that's the journey you go on, and you get to your core essence eventually. Because you've got to do the reason you've got to do all the healing is because all the stuff from past lives and stuff has to be healed. You've been in past lives, and you've witnessed terrible things, and all sorts of things has happened in past lives, and it hasn't healed yet. That's why people get cancer for no reason. It's not for no reason, it's because this stuff manifests itself within the physical body. So that's why it's important. The most important thing is the inner healing work, because so that when you die, you'll be ready then to go to heaven, because that's what we're here for. We're here to prepare for heaven, that's what we're here for. And while we're doing that, we're being the example of what to be. And something I'm always saying, that we have to be the example of what to be. We have to be the example, and that's the real Christ force or source or God or whatever you want to say, is not what they tell you it is. You see, you want to know God, follow the people that talk about awakening, spiritual awakening, tantric awareness, kundalini, all that kind of stuff. That is the core essence of who you are. You see? And as I've said, there's a new type of therapist around on the planet, and it's the 144,000. If people know about that, I see myself as one of them. But the thing is about that is I chose to be chosen. I had enough that day, as I mentioned earlier. So you're chosen because you choose to be chosen yourself. And so that's what it's about. It's about doing this inner healing work, returning to who we truly are. But that's, a lot of people might not know what tantric awareness is. Kundalini is the awakening, but you've got to go on a journey, a tantric awareness kind of pathway, so that you have to heal all that. And as you heal, this tantric awareness arises more in you, and then your diet has to change for the energy. The way to describe it: peace, orgasmicness, love. Imagine all the bliss, the sensual bliss you can think of. And that's basically what we're returning to. And that's why these people have had these spiritual awakenings. Like I said before, they are the new therapists. New therapists are not them with big letters after their names. It's these people that are having these big spiritual awakenings. And they are the new therapists. Like the Warriors of the Rainbow. If people are familiar with that, it talks about them. And if you're one of them listening, you might be one listening. And so it's the inner pathway that leads to heaven. It's not out there in the sky. Well, it is out there in the sky, but because the astral world is upward physically. But the inner pathway connects you to that power. And the inner journey is the thing to do. And I'm just going to leave it there. For latest updates, talks, news, research, and much, much more, please do visit my website at www.lovelightfamily.com. You can also donate on my Cash App if you would like to. You don't have to, but if you like to, at # Love Light Family 1111. Thank you.